Do you keep making mistakes with your money, overspending, overdrafting your bank account? You're not alone. In fact, today I'm sharing 5 mistakes that you're making with your money. It's keeping you broke. In fact, stick around for number 5 because it's a game changer. I'm Dakota Grady, DG the Money Coach, and I'm all about helping you to master your finances. Let's dive into the conversation. All right, so you keep making these same mistakes over and over again with your finances, right? I got it covered. In fact, I'm gonna cover 5 of the 10 mistakes that you're making with your finances. In fact, drop mistakes in the comments and I'll send you the resource. So today, we're gonna dive into why you're making mistakes with your finances and how to overcome those mistakes. All right, first mistake you're making with your finances is believing that money is not a tool. So I grew up thinking money was something that was bad, evil, right? And your parents saw the money the same way. They didn't think that people who had money were good, thought were evil. So that's a bad way to look at money and people too. Money is simply a tool to use to bless other people. So think about it. Everything costs money for the most part. Food, housing, clothing, utilities, everything costs money. I mean, even the water you drink costs money, whether it be out of the tap, the faucet, or in a bottle, it costs money. So if you look at money as something that's bad, it's probably hindering you from spending it and managing it wisely. So that's one mistake that you're making when it comes to your finances. Number 2 is not creating a money plan. What is that? A money plan is simply a plan for your money. The dreaded B word, budget, is what it is. If you want to go anywhere when it comes to your finances, you need a budget. When you get married, you plan. Go to school, you plan. You start a career, go to college, you plan those things, right? Money is no different. So my wife and I, we got married in 2008, and she was not good with money, I was. So we had disagreements about finances, but one thing that brought us together with our finances is doing a budget, a money plan, because naturally I'm a saver, naturally she's a spender, but we're coming together and work together on the finances, and it helped our marriage a whole lot. So if you're married and you're struggling with your finances, talk to your spouse about finances and do a budget together. It's a very game changer. If you're single and you don't do a budget, then you need a budget too. Everyone you'll never outgrow the need to manage your finances. And managing your finances starts with the first thing, and that's a budget. I believe the reason why people struggle financially is because they don't have a money plan. You can do one. It's that simple. The third one is not saving money, having at least $500 to $1,500 in a savings account for rainy days. When I was doing my first book tour, and I was in Nashville, Tennessee, I was in Nashville and I was at a bookstore, and that night I got home from the location and my side was hurting really bad. Well, I couldn't sleep, so my wife took me to the urgent care, and the doctor said it was my appendix and needed to be removed eventually. So I went to the ER, and that's what they did, and removed my appendix that day. Imagine you having that same thing. A surgery that was unexpected. Maybe your child had an injury at school, broke her arm on a trampoline, playing with friends, whatever the case may be. You may have things come up that are unexpected. And when people say to me, oh, something came up, that means they had an emergency. And more than likely, they weren't ready for an emergency. They had no savings. In fact, I've seen sources online where they said that people don't have either $400 or either $1,000 for an emergency. I hope that's not you. If it is, make sure you follow points 1 and 2, and now number 3, which is to have a rainy day fund of $500 to $1,500 in a savings account. You can even do a high yield savings account or either a money market account. The whole point is set some money aside for rainy days. The 4th point is believing that debt is not a thief. I'll say it again. Believing that debt is not a thief. We live in America and we worship the FICO score, credit score. Build my credit, build my credit, build my credit. You can order to get an apartment or get a mortgage or get car insurance. You got to have a FICO score. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you this. Debt is a thief. It's not a tool. Like people say, it's not your friend. Here's why. Every time you get paid, and you owe somebody money, right? You get paid, you pay that car payment, that mortgage payment, student loan payment. All the money is going out of your account that you work hard for, and you stay struggling, stay broke, right? So It's not just a friend. It's not a tool. People want you to believe it's a tool, but when you borrow money, you pay back principal plus interest. The interest is how people get rich off of you. That's right, you, because you think that building credit is good. When you build credit, you stay broke. Because again, you're paying somebody else money, you pay back more than you borrow because you pay back principal plus interest. Interest is the cost of borrowing money. That's why debt is not good. People say there's good debt and bad debt. If debt is so good, then why are people struggling with it? If debt is so good, why are people staying broke? People are saying you can manage debt. The best way to manage debt is to get out of debt. I'll say it again. The best way to manage your debt is to pay off your debt. That's simple. I know people online say, build your credit, borrow money, leverage, OPM, all those sayings, but I'm here to say to you, debt is a thief, it's not a tool, and it's not your friend. That's simple. And the game-changing one that you're not doing, the mistake that you're not doing is you're not investing. Investing in what? The stock market. I recommend investing in mutual funds. And what is a mutual fund? A mutual fund is basically a bucket of stocks, right? A stock is ownership in a company. So you put some money into the stock market. For example, you're buying stocks and you're buying a piece of ownership in that company. That's what you're doing. And in return for that ownership, you may get what is called a dividend. A dividend is income that the company has earned through the business. They use your money to finance their operations, to make goods and services for the world, the community, wherever they're located, and wherever they do business. When they make money off of the goods and services, they repay the shareholders, the owners, with a dividend, with income, with money, right? So if you invest in the stock market in mutual funds, which is a big pool of stocks, right? And you put the money to the fund and it grows, and then when you retire, you take the money out. Now, it depends on what kind of fund you get. You may have a 401k, you may have a Roth IRA or a traditional IRA, whatever the case may be. You want to start investing. I recommend investing in a mutual fund. Get you a Roth IRA, retirement, an individual retirement account, and start investing. Here's my challenge to you. If you aren't doing that, I want you to start doing it today. Pay off debt, get your rainy day fund in place, start using the money plan every month, and start investing. That's how you overcome the 5 mistakes that you're making with money that's keeping you broke. Don't keep making the same mistakes. Now you know, now you can do better. Thank y'all for joining us for the episode. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for joining us.